Hey everybody, greetings from East Palo Alto and the end of our quarter. Yay, a couple weeks off. And it was a great class. Thanks to our professor for all the hard work and to the few and the proud that were in the class and for all the wine. That was awesome. It's great to be in a seminary that lets you drink wine. So, um, wanted to just give you an update and talk a little bit about what my final paper was about and some of the things that I have learned through that. Um, First off, the assignment to interview the two couples was really interesting, and I worked a lot of that into my final paper, mainly because I interviewed two couples. One was an older couple in their mid 70s who had been married for 50 years, um, successfully, but with a lot of dysfunction, a lot of challenges in the context of their marriage. Um, but they survived. They were working class, not a lot of education, and they were coming from a much different situation. They were children of immigrants from the East Coast, and the other couple was a younger couple. They were about 55 years old, double master's degrees, both of them. Had worked in the tech economy, and were from a very different socioeconomic strata with a different background. So certainly everybody has dysfunction, and they had dysfunction in their life too, but not to the level as the other couple. So it was interesting to compare and contrast the two relationships and the tensions and the strategies that each of them used to succeed. The older couple, everything was on the table, but they clearly loved each other, and I think just the love was the thing that brought them through, and the commitment had brought them through. The woman in the relationship had come from a very, very dysfunctional background, divorced in the 1950s, which was unheard of, and her brothers and sisters were taken away from her mother. So her highest value really was stability and love, and she was not going to bail from that marriage. The man was a little bit immature and needed to grow up, but the woman was really ready to give the man space to do that. The other couple were very stable and clearly valued peace in the marriage over anything else. So, and they'd found a way to find this kind of sense of tranquility in their marriage. It was very egalitarian nature. They made decisions as a couple. There was no clear sort of the man does this, the woman does this. Where, in comparison, the other couple actually did, being probably due to their generation and their upbringing, really did have a clear definition. So you couldn't have seen both couples, but with both couples, we saw trust, and we saw love, and we saw commitment, and ultimately, I think that's why they made it. So, I talked a lot about that in my paper, and especially in relation to the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and how both couples actually survived that trend because of they were able to really exhibit a love and a trust for each other. And then the other thing that really struck me through the class really was this whole issue of first is the relationship with the Trinity. And the nature of the distinct ways that Trinity has roles to play, but they still work together as one. And the support and love that theology tells us exists in the context of the Trinity. So I think that was I think the book, The Reciprocating Self, really had a lot taken from Miroslav Volf's work on the Trinity. And that was really good for me. I was surprised how much I don't know about the Trinity. Secondly, just the whole concept of Imago Dei. And I spent some time thinking about in the paper about the fall and the implications that it had on marriage and relationships, and how the work of the gospel is to restore Imago Dei in the context of relationships and the individual, and that we have a pretty interesting role and responsibility in the church to be agents of restoration and reconciliation in the context of relationships. So that was the context of my paper. 7 pages wasn't a whole lot. Hopefully, Dr. James, hopefully I did what you need me to do. But it was a good exercise. And so I appreciate all of you. Hope you have a great couple of weeks off. I think I'm going to see some of you in a class coming up. And God bless to you all. And see you soon.